Virginia workers' compensation follows a mathematical axiom. If disabled from work, the system pays 66 and 2/3% of your gross average weekly wage, tax-free. This calculation sounds simple, but it contains a tension. 2/3 is a fixed multiplier, but the number it multiplies, the average weekly wage, is highly variable. The insurance company calculates that base number first. Because their initial arithmetic often leaves out critical, legally allowable earnings, their calculation is frequently incorrect. To determine exactly what a claim is actually worth in 2026, we have to deconstruct the specific formulas that dictate payment. We will establish the new statutory boundaries, isolate the distinct classifications of disability benefits, and detail the exact mathematical variables required to verify a wage statement. Understanding the rigid mechanics of these calculations is the only way an injured worker can prevent the permanent loss of the compensation they are owed. This ledger outlines the strict monetary caps governing the Virginia system. These are the absolute boundaries set by the Workers' Compensation Commission. For any injury occurring on or after July 1, 2025, the system enforces a hard maximum ceiling. No matter how high your pre-injury earnings were, the maximum weekly wage loss benefit is capped at $1,463.10. Conversely, the system sets a statutory floor. The minimum weekly benefit protects lower wage workers at $365.78, provided that minimum does not exceed their actual pre-injury wages. This timeline shows the structural constraints on when those payments actually arrive. Compensation checks do not begin on day one. Virginia enforces a strict 7-day waiting period. If you are out of work for less than a week, no wage benefits are owed. There is one specific payback exception. The insurer is legally required to go back and pay that first week only if the total disability lasts longer than 3 weeks. Even if payments begin, they are not indefinite. The general statutory ceiling for wage benefits combines total and partial classifications to cap out at 500 weeks, roughly 9.5 years. Medical benefits operate on a completely separate, potentially lifelong timeline. As long as an award order is in place, the insurer covers all authorized treatment causally related to the injury. That medical coverage extends to logistics. Effective January 1, 2025, mileage to and from medical appointments is reimbursable at exactly 70 cents per mile. In the event of a fatal work injury, the system allocates a maximum $10,000 burial benefit and up to $1,000 in specific transportation expenses. A Virginia claim operates as a compartment independently. This diagram displays the 3 distinct benefit classifications operating within those boundaries. First is temporary total disability, or TTD. TTD is the standard full 2/3 benefit. It is triggered exclusively when the authorized treating physician takes you completely out of work or the employer cannot accommodate your restrictions. The second classification is temporary partial disability, or TPD. TPD applies when an injured employee returns to the workforce but earns less money because of their medical restrictions, usually through light duty, reduced hours, or a lower-paying assignment. This equation demonstrates the specific math required to calculate TPD, using a hypothetical worker named Maria. Maria had a confirmed pre-injury average weekly wage of $900. After her injury, her doctor releases her to light duty, and her employer offers a desk assignment paying only $500 a week. Subtracting her current earnings from her pre-injury baseline establishes a $400 wage gap caused directly by her physical restrictions. To determine her compensation, we apply the statutory multiplier. We multiply that $400 difference by 2/3 to arrive at an exact rate. The result is a $266.67 weekly check paid by the insurer, which Maria receives entirely on top of the $500 she earns from her light-duty desk assignment. By making up 2/3 of the missing wages, TPD acts as a mathematical bridge. It ensures workers are not financially penalized for accepting medically appropriate light-duty work. This brings us to the third column, permanent partial disability. PPD is triggered only when a worker reaches maximum medical improvement and a physician assigns a permanent impairment rating to a specific body part. Virginia evaluates these injuries using a strict statutory schedule of weeks. Every extremity has a predetermined duration value. For instance, the statute assigns a maximum of 175 weeks for the complete loss of use of a leg. We can see exactly how this scheduled math works for a worker with a $600 weekly compensation rate who sustains a 10% permanent impairment to that leg. The first step isolates the duration. We multiply the doctor's 10% impairment rating by the leg's 175 scheduled weeks, resulting in 17.5 payable weeks. The final step applies the worker's established value. We multiply those 17.5 weeks by the worker's $600 weekly compensation rate. The exact arithmetic produces a $10,500 permanent award. This scheduled structure is entirely separate from permanent total disability. PTD is a distinct category reserved strictly for catastrophic losses, such as amputations of multiple limbs or severe brain injuries. Only PTD can bypass the standard 500-week cap to pay wage benefits for life. Permanent impairment awards function as rigid geometric formulas determined by the physician's rating and the statutory schedule. Every calculation we have just processed depends entirely on a single critical variable, the average weekly wage. This initial calculation is where claims are won or lost. To understand the financial stakes, we analyze the hypothetical case of a worker named Dale. Dale is a 44-year-old HVAC technician with a stated base pay of $22 an hour. This split screen shows the consequences of incomplete data. On the left is the insurer's initial math, calculated using only Dale's strict base hourly rate. Using a standard 40-hour week, the insurer's chart produced an average weekly wage of $880. Applying the 2/3 multiplier, Dale receives a $586.67 weekly compensation check. The right side reveals the variables the insurer omitted. Over the past year, Dale consistently worked 6 hours of weekly overtime, and he ran weekend service calls for a second company in the exact same trade. Virginia law explicitly requires the inclusion of real gross overtime earnings. It also allows wages from a similar second employment to be combined if the injury prevents the worker from performing both jobs. When we correct the math by adding these missing factors, Dale's true average weekly wage climbs over $1,150. Applying the statutory 2/3 multiplier to the accurate baseline, his correct weekly compensation rate is actually $767. The difference between the two columns is $180 every single week. Projected across a multi-year disability and applied to a future permanent impairment award calculated at that exact same rate, this singular arithmetic omission costs the worker tens of thousands of dollars. Nothing about the medical severity of his injury changed, only the math did. Securing the correct benefits in Virginia requires precise verification. Accepting the insurer's initial calculation without review creates the risk of a significant financial oversight. To protect the mathematical value of a claim, a worker must execute 3 specific directives. Step 1. Report the injury to the employer within 30 days and formally file a claim with the Virginia Workers' Compensation Commission within exactly 2 years. During that time, you must insist on an official award order from the Commission. Voluntary checks from an insurer carry no legal weight and protect the insurance company, not the worker. Step 2. Aggressively audit the wage calculation. Before accepting any agreement, pull a full year of pay stubs and verify that all overtime and secondary employments have been counted. Step 3. Quantify the actual monetary value of the lifetime medical award before ever considering a settlement. The final mandate is simple. Never sign a settlement or a wage agreement without consulting a Virginia workers' compensation attorney to verify the underlying math.